Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Mitch, and I'm just an old guy in a drone. And today, I'm an old guy and a drone and a son. You know, most of us are parents, and I think that no matter what else happens to us in this world, being proud of our children is probably one of the most important things. It is to me anyway. And very, very fortunately, I'm lucky and I have two children I'm very proud of. A son and a daughter. My son is 48 years old, my daughter's 45. So they're really not kids anymore, but you know how it is. They're always your kids. You always worry about them. And the highlights are when you get to do things together, which as your kids get older is less and less frequently because they get married, they have kids of their own, and next thing you know, their priorities become their own families, and that's the way I expect it to be. The one thing that my son and I shared as a father and son kind of activity was RC flying. Here's a picture I took of my son at 8 years old. I had given him an old trainer RC airplane called an A-Tray, and he was out there flying this thing by himself, and he was 8 years old, and he eventually became a very accomplished RC pilot, and that was what we used to do together. Some fathers and sons go hunting, fishing. With me and my son, it was fly model airplanes. So when he told me he wanted to get a drone, I said to myself, well, that's great, because maybe that's something we can start to do together again, because it's been a lot of years since my son and I actually went off to do something together. You know, other than have lunch or go visit the grandkids at their house. So yesterday he calls me and says, hey Pop, come on over. It's a pretty day, let's fly drones. And he had just gotten his drone, and I met him the other day and he put one flight on it. I showed him kind of the technicalities of it, but he doesn't really need me. He can figure anything out. And I get over to his house and he's already got the drone up in the air. And he's hand flying point of interest around the dock out behind his house. And I said to myself, well, I guess he doesn't really need me for this. And I had given him a copy of, I think it was Power Director editing software that I had, so he could edit some footage of my grandson playing lacrosse. And last night I get an email from him saying, here's a link to my first movie, Pop. And I go and look, and sure enough, he's made a movie. He's made a drone movie already. And I'd like to share that with you. So here it is, my son Mike's first drone movie. Enjoy it. Okay, now ask yourself, if you were out here on the river on a gorgeous day like this, would you just watch your kid fly, or would you get your own drone out? Well, I think the answer to that is pretty obvious. You got a lighter? You got your lighter? I have mine in my pocket. I just take a few minutes of us sitting here smoking, enjoying our cigars. Life doesn't suck. Not on a day like this, it doesn't, Mike. Now, I know my son's going to be embarrassed by this, but that's too bad. Because if I get an opportunity to brag about my kids, I'm going to take it. That's my prerogative as a father. So with that, as usual, I'm going to give everybody the rest of the day off. Go play with your drone and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.